Barry the blue crab lives in the Chesapeake Bay, where watermen try to catch him and his friends every day. Barry got his name when a little girl fed him blueberries one day, and they stained his face, and it stayed that way. A whole bunch of rockfish swim by on their way to school. Barry sits on a soft-shelled clam and thinks that's so cool. He wonders why only fish get to go to school. Barry stops his friend Mr. Turtle to ask him why is it that only fish and not crabs get to go to school. Mr. Turtle said, "I don't know for sure. You should ask Odie the oyster. He might be able to answer you better than me." Odie the oyster was sleeping under the mud on the bottom of the bay. Barry looked but couldn't find him, so he went on his way. As the group of rockfish head off to school, Barry sees some of his friends trapped in the crab pots while they had gone to get their food. Barry really didn't understand why he was supposed to stay out of the watermen's crab pots, but in his heart he felt that if he went in, he might not come out. As Barry continued to look for his answer about crabs going to school, he came across the worm hung on a hook at the end of a fishing line. He tells Barry to go away as he is waiting for fish to come by and he doesn't have time. Barry asked the worm why he didn't want to go to school today. The worm said, "I don't need to go to school. I already know how to catch fish in the bay." A workboat nearby digging for clams had found Odie the oyster where he was taking a nap in the mud. Along with some of his clam friends, Odie was taken up to the boat where he landed with a thud. Barry thought that is what an oyster gets for hanging out with the clams. He hoped that Odie would be thrown back overboard by the watermen. Then Barry sees a green eel get his head stuck in the sand. Barry found a fish friend named Bob sitting on a rock nearby. Bob asked Barry why he looked so sad, almost like he could cry. Barry told him that he wanted to go to school like the fish do. Barry asked why hard crabs can't go too. Then Bob tells Barry just what to do. After Bob told Barry what to do, he was excited and left to go back to tell all his friends what he now knew. On his way to tell his friends about school, Barry swims past a waterman on his boat dipping crabs from his trot line, which was very full. Barry tells them, "No, no, please let go. If you go into the boat, you won't come home." His friends pay Barry no mind, and holding on to the bait, they go up the trot line one at a time. Just like hard-headed crabs, they decided to stay on the trot line. None of them paid attention to what Barry had to say this time. Barry was upset and tells his friends, the clams, "So many of my friends are gone. For sure something has to be done." Since Bob the rockfish told Barry just what to do, Barry follows the fish on their way to school. Barry wants to save his friends, so by going to school every day, Barry learns all the things that the watermen do and say. Barry tells his friends to stay out of the crab pots and off the trot lines, as the food they see is bait. Also, they need to keep an eye on the tide and learn to wait. Summer has come to an end and the crab pots are empty inside. Because he went to school, Barry and many of his friends have for one more season stayed alive. Because Barry is a smart blue crab and went to school, there are lots of crabs in the bay for me and you.